5:13 p.m. Still October 20th, 2024. It's still Sunday, and I'm still having a conniption fit. The Weaver Johnson, Roseman, California, losing his mind. Okay, so the other one was my phone acting up a great deal. I'd like to get me a new phone. Believe me, I want to get me a new phone in the worst possible way. Because this damn thing is going to frickin' drive me insane if I'm not there already. On the screen I've got in front of me, I am just trying to get my stuff worked on. I was going to talk about Joel Webbon and his mouth of insanity, telling people that they will be stoned because if we followed ancient laws and text in the Holy Bible itself, even the Torah would be based off of the thing. I would be telling people that if you were bearing false witness, and I did a spiel on this one, it was just a long-ass spiel on this one, that you were going to be put to death. And he's trying to make it where he's wanting other people to be and act this way because he says so. Because the Bible says so, therefore we got to follow everything the Bible tells us. You know, I liked the New Testament a bit because I know it had to be happy attitudes in there, and I really liked what was being said in there. But what I don't like is an egotistical megalomaniac who wants everything his way at this point over here and screw everybody at the same time because he says so. And everybody should listen to him because he says so. He knows better. He is the voice from God. Yeah, right. He's a lunatic. That's what he is. So, that being said, guys, Right-Wing Watch keeps monitoring lunatics like him because they have this tendency of inciting people to do stupids or programming them to be stupid about it. As in, you're making their own choice to do stupid things because you feel this is what God tells you because you got listening to this damn con artist telling you that this should be this way and you should. If you believe and trust in God, if you fear God, do this because you must. And it's no wonder guys like Jesse Dollarmore who are, had faith but falling out of faith because of what organized faith is looking like these days. More of the control freaks, and he doesn't like it as much. Well, that's on him. On me personally, I don't like it when people say those kind of things either, and I am not following suit with that. That being said, anybody who wants to tell people that it's okay to public execute people because they think they're breaking a law, they're doing the Sharia law situation here. They're putting it into Sharia. Now, I don't know what the hell that means, but let me locate that particular notification. Okay, Sharia. Okay, the definition, what they would understand it is the intersection of Islam and the law. According to Wikipedia, Sharia is a body of religious law that forms a part of the Islamic traditions. Okay. But for me, if we're talking about Christians following the Old Testament, isn't that a bit of Sharia law in a way? That if we're going to be following of stoning people because of something that was done something wrong one way or another, or interpreted as wrong, in certain actions and certain forms and functions in Sharia law, women are subject to a lot of atrocities. And the males are also subject to a lot of male atrocities. They have to hold themselves in the highest regard, and they still mutilate each other. There are stories out there when they're talking about Sharia law, when they're talking about an absolute religion, governing things instead of civil law. See, I don't deal with it. But we're coming into that kind of situation with the Christian nationalist thinking here. And it's hard to deal with it, isn't it? Because now we gotta handle this one. I think it's wrong. We have our civil laws. We have our rules and regulations already created. We had the U.S. Constitution created. It's not the absolute, but it is a governing body and principle that we have to live by. This is what the forefathers set up. Unless, of course, we're going to have that redrafted and gone through many constitutions or conventions to get the one we like. But it was supposed to be an incomplete document, allowing amendments to be utilized and added to the Constitution of the United States in order for us to, make our country better somehow. We implied powers to the states in order to do that for themselves as well. But did we also include that religion has to be the absolute? Because now we're doing Muslim. Now we're doing Islamic law. And I know a hell of a lot of people are having conniption fits over this. They want it pure Christian. So it means we go after the Jewish, we go after Hindus, Muslims, we go after anybody who's not a Christian. The concept of shibboleth keeps coming to mind. Shibboleth. And this is a word, I think either both in Old and New Testament, but I'm going to take a look anyway. Is a custom, principle, or belief distinguishing a particular class or group of people, especially a long-standing one regarded as outmoded and no longer important. So, Merriam-Webster would have this. Synonyms for it. And they consider it a noun. A word or saying used by adherents of a party, sect, or belief, and usually regarded by others as empty of real meaning. There's a little sentence there. The old shibboleth come rolling off their lips. Widely held belief. Okay, today this book, Publishing Shibboleth, is a myth. Truism or platitude. Some truth in a shibboleth that crime does not pay. A use of language regarded as distinctive of a particular group. An accent was a shibboleth of social class. A custom or usage regarded as distinguishing one group from another. For most of the well-to-do in the town, dinner was a shibboleth. Its hour divided mankind. And then they added the Did You Know section in the Merriam Dictionary. The Bible's book of Judges, 12, verse 4 through 6, tells the story of the Ephraimites, oh good Lord, who after they were routed by the Gileadite army, tried to retreat by sneaking across the ford of the Jordan River that was held by their enemy. The Gileadites, wary of the ploy, asked each shoulder who tried to cross as if he was an Ephraimite. I'm pronouncing it that wrong, that's for sure. When the soldier said no, he was asked to say shibboleth, which means stream in Hebrew. Gileadites would pronounce the word shibboleth, but Ephraimites said sibboleth without the H in there. Anyone who didn't pronounce the initial sh was killed on the spot. When English speakers first borrowed shibboleth, they used it to mean test phrase, but it has required additional meanings since that time. So we're going to be dealing with a synonym here Synonyms in a sentence. She repeated the old shibboleth that time heals old wounds. And we knew that their claim was giving the best deal in town was just a shibboleth. Now, if I wasn't, okay, if I was really hip on the biblical sense at this point, what would the Bible say on this one? I'm trying to see if there was actually anything about it. Bible studies. Okay, there we go. So that corresponds with it. The Bible study tools also talked about Judges 12 and number 6 in there. So basically a code phrase. Instead of saying shibboleth, you'd say shibboleth, and that would be the code word saying you're cool, you're okay. However, you say it the wrong pattern and you're definitely the schmuck. How does this help me out with the situation regarding Joel Webbon at this point? Because I was reminded of this thing, of how it is, of how it's being used for people to identify themselves from one class of people to another class of people. They would say a code word, shibboleth. And this is important because one Christian would identify himself that to another one. He would say the word shibboleth and not sibboleth. I had to put an H in there, that one. It says somehow we keep forgetting little things that slip past us. How do I know that this particular pastor is legitimate or not? And he keeps doing the fire and brimstone of people saying, you must fear, you must hate, you must, because I say so. If he was offered that test, to say to another person, shibboleth, would he understand it? Would he understand how important it is? A simple phrase, a simple word, would that be acceptable? Or is that also based in stoning a person? I don't get it with these guys. I really don't get it with these guys. They really want people to be that afraid of everybody these days. Or afraid of God all that much. And sometimes I have to keep discovering for myself the concept of a God, of a power greater than myself. Yes, it is intimidating. The problem is, I already been intimidated at the age of 4 years old. I mean, if you guys have been watching my videos these days, you know that I keep telling the story again and again, and to me, it is truth. It's not gospel. It's reality check. A scar in the chest. Got medical records. Unfortunately, long gone from Cedars of Lebanon. Thank you very much, guys. Or a pediatrician had already gone to the grave years ago, a couple of decades ago. I think another one too. Let's see. There was Dr. Marvin Stopak, and then there was Burton Fink. Burton Fink was the ped cardiologist, and Fink was just a pediatrician general. And these guys saved my life decades ago. I owe them, and they're still a pain in the ass to me. But I owe them anyway. I owe them a great deal for that. What I don't owe at this point is a fear that I have concerning about medical establishments anyway. It's like the fear of God from these guys. But these guys are basically trying to save my ass, and I didn't allow it to happen. But how am I going to be looking at myself, trying to get my own soul saved? Not by guys from like Webbon trying to tell me that I have to stone people to death because differences or mistakes made, and the differences if they actually have them here. How dare you be that way? Who do you think you are? And with all this damn righteous holy crap that they got going on in their damn heads, and trying to tell people this is what it must be because this is what the book tells you. It must be it. And the only thing I know about one particular thing of it is there are a lot of stories in there, but there was also a lot of good moral lessons in there. And it's our choice and our options to follow it exactly as it is, or take pieces of it that we can incorporate in ourselves, and hopefully that maybe our lives will help somebody else and help our own lives be just a little bit better than what it is, instead of all the time fearful. Bad enough I got to deal with modern technology driving me insane at this point, and it is driving me insane. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do any communications tonight with this damn thing. I'm not going to be saving any pictures, that's for damn sure. I'm not going to be saving anything on it. I'm not going to be doing any downloads because I don't have anything else to download it to until I get this damn thing fixed tonight. Isn't that nice? I mean, I can still use it as a phone, don't get me wrong. I can pick up phone messages. I just can't save anything. Anybody who's using Facebook out there is monitoring me. I'm going to have to go online and do things that way. I got no choice. I don't use Messenger all that much anyway, so I'm not going to stress over that thing. I use YouTube, but I can use YouTube to watch other things and not save anything like that. My own stuff to be put out there, I'll just use the computer. So that's mostly computer operation I have. What do I use for this thing? I can't listen to music or anything else on it. I can't save my personal recordings. If I got anything needs to be said, then I got to do it the hard way. And the hard way is either by video or by using the audio on a computer and doing a recording that way and putting them on flash drives, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to do this shit. It's the only way I'm going to have to do this shit. Use up all the damn room I've got in this monster. Transferring everything else from to fro. It's a pain in the ass, but you know, it's a pain in the ass. Lights going down outside. That's why the lighting sucks in here. I know the baseball's on right now, and I'm missing it. I'll talk later, guys. I'll deal with my frustrations in the morning. I got to start figuring out how to afford another phone. I need an upgrade. I need storage upgrade on the damn thing. And to recognize a damn SD drive. Oh, crap.